You go back to Thursday's game, they lose 4-3. Couldn't get a whole lot going offensively. Grish had that big two-run home run that tied the game, but if he hadn't hit that, the Padres would have just lost in regulation, and it would have been kind of like today's loss, just kind of doing nothing offensively. You move to Friday, and they get their doors blown off of them. Michael Wacha sucked on the mound, and the offense was playing from behind the whole time there, and they scored 1 run late, which didn't really matter. The Campusano home run, which was the first run of that game, that was pretty much worthless. I mean, it was an encouraging sign. Didn't know that at the time Campusano was playing with a jammed thumb. Both of those runs were worthless. The game was over after probably the first inning and a half, right? That's just how bad Wacha was pitching. Then Saturday is a big up, right, on the roller coaster. There's downs, there's ups. That was an up. Padres scored 10 runs. They scored 10 runs against the Braves in that series. They scored 10 runs in a game here against the Brewers, but then they followed up today with no runs, a 0-run performance, getting shut out by Wade Miley and the Milwaukee Brewers. That is not a guy that you should probably be getting shut out by. I know he had the no-hitter a couple years ago, but he's not a high-velocity guy. And when you just hear the name Wade Miley, it's like this guy's past his prime. Like, why are we getting shut out by Wade Miley? And they had their chances, but also there was a lot of 1, 2, 3 innings. There was like 4 or 5 1, 2, 3 innings for the Padres in this game. And that just can't happen. I know Devin Williams is nasty, but I'm talking about Wade Miley. I'm talking about the pitchers before that. You know, we can start with some of the missed chances, right? The first 2 innings in this game, we're going to hit on Sunday's game here. We'll hit on Saturday's game here in a moment. First inning, Bogart singles. He's gotten on base in every single game. Talking about holding up his end of the bargain, well, that's what he is doing. Manny gets on with the single. Now you got first and third, no outs. Soto strikes out looking. Cruz strikes out swinging. And then Crony lines out, flies out sort of to left field, Christian Yelich. I thought that was a pretty good swing that Crony put on that, at least from my seats where I was looking. It's the 2 strikeouts before that. You can't be striking out in that spot. Missed opportunity there. Go to the second inning. This is after the Brewers already put 1 run on the board, the only run of the game, and we'll definitely get to that run and how that scored and what the heck happened there. Bottom second, Nola, he doubles. I mean, credit to Austin Nola today. I know that the Padres fan base, most of them, the majority of the Padres fan base, including myself, has not been very high on Austin Nola this year because he hasn't really done anything at the plate. And I know Soto hasn't done very much at the plate either, but those are 2 different players. Like, Soto has the long track record of being one of the best hitters in baseball, and Nola just can't really throw anyone out. I know some of it's on the pitchers. Can't really throw anyone out. Can't hit right now. I mean, we're seeing better signs today, so yeah, props to him. But just before this, entering today, hadn't really done anything. So the criticism was definitely warranted. But he hits a double. Wild pitch gets Nola to third, and then 2 more strikeouts. Just like there were 2 strikeouts in the first inning, there were 2 strikeouts in the second inning. Grish strikes out swinging. Azokar struck out swinging. And that's 2 opportunities there with a runner on third, less than 2 outs in both instances, and he couldn't bring across a run with Yu Darvish on the mound. Like, Darvish, he was good today. Gave up just 4 hits, 1 run only, struck out 12, made it through 7 innings a day after 4 relievers were used in the bullpen. Like, this was a big day for Darvish, an important day to kind of try to reset the bullpen going into this Atlanta Braves series and then going into, I mean, it's a full week of baseball, the Diamondback series as well, because they don't have an off day between that. It's a 3-game series against the Braves. Then Nando returns on Thursday, 4 games against the Diamondbacks in Arizona. So resetting the bullpen, I think, was big today. I mean, Hader got on the mound. He looked good. Offense just did not come through, and I feel like I've said that a lot already so far this season. Look, it's early. I'm going to continue saying that probably through like 40 games in the season. I think that's a pretty good spot to say that because that's what, a quarter of the season? That's still early. So, yeah, it is early, 8-9. It's not the end of the world, but just as a fan, right, we just want to see more consistency from this Padres offense, and we're just not seeing that right now, and it is disappointing. There's gonna be some times where the pitching staff doesn't hold up their end, right? Michael Walker the other night, he was terrible. Felt like the game was over right when he, a few batters into the game, right? Because the offense was working from behind. The offense hadn't really done much anyway. But for the most part this year, the starting pitching has held up their end of the bargain. Some guys in the bullpen have held up their end, but the offense just has not been consistent. You look at these 4 games in this Milwaukee Padres series. 3 runs on Thursday, 2 runs on Friday, then 10 runs on Saturday, back to no runs today. So, not a lot of runs, not a lot of runs, a ton of runs, and no runs. That's not that's not consistency.